Imagine you have $100,000 sitting in your account right now. You could use it to buy a home, get the keys, hang a picture on the wall, and spend the next 30 years telling yourself that every strange sound in the basement is probably nothing. Or you could keep renting, invest the entire $100,000, and let the stock market do its thing while your landlord deals with the water heater. Which choice actually makes you wealthier after 20 years? Today, we're not using opinions, family advice, or the classic line that rent is throwing money away. We're following two people with the same income, the same city, and exactly the same $100,000. At year 20, one of them ends up with nearly $100,000 more, but there is a catch. Meet Maya and Daniel. They are both 32, earn the same salary, and have spent years saving $100,000. Maya wants stability. She wants a place that feels like hers, a kitchen she can renovate, and the right to have a dog without asking anyone for permission. Daniel values flexibility. He may move for a better job. He does not want surprise repair bills, and he likes the idea that his money can be sold with a few clicks instead of a real estate agent, an open house, and a stranger commenting on his curtains. Maya finds a home for $400,000. She puts down 20%, or $80,000. Closing costs, inspections, lender fees, and the many mysterious documents involved in buying a home use about $12,000. That leaves Maya with an $8,000 emergency cushion and a mortgage of $320,000. For this example, we use a 30-year fixed mortgage at about 6.7%. Maya's principal and interest payment is about $2,063 per month, but that is not her whole housing cost. When she adds property tax, home insurance, and a maintenance budget, her starting monthly cost is around $2,913. Daniel rents a comparable home for $2,100 per month. He invests his full $100,000 in a low-cost, diversified stock market index fund. Because Daniel's housing cost is initially about $800 lower each month, he invests that difference too. Renting only becomes an investment strategy if you actually invest the difference. If the extra money becomes vacations, restaurant delivery, and a car payment that makes your friends say nice, then the spreadsheet has left the building. People say renters throw money away, but homeowners also spend money that never becomes equity. Mortgage interest, property taxes, insurance, maintenance, and closing costs are all real expenses. In Maya's first mortgage payment, only a few $100s reduce the loan balance. Most of it is interest. That does not make buying bad. It just means a house is both a home and a financial commitment, not a magical money printer with a front porch. Now let's fast forward 5 years. Maya's home has increased in value by 3% per year in our example. It is worth roughly $464,000. Her mortgage balance has fallen to around $300,000. That gives her about $164,000 in home equity before any cost of selling. She has a more predictable principal and interest payment. She can paint the walls any color she wants, and she has learned that a small home project is usually code for there goes your Saturday and $300. Daniel has been renting, investing his original $100,000, and adding the monthly savings whenever there is a difference. Assuming a 7% annual return, his portfolio is now roughly $193,000. He is ahead in liquid wealth, meaning he can access part of that money if life changes. Maya has valuable equity, but she cannot sell one corner of her living room if she suddenly needs cash. At 10 years, Maya's house is worth around $538,000, while her mortgage balance is roughly $273,000. Her equity is about $265,000. Daniel's investment account is around $308,000. Neither person has made a stupid decision. Maya has bought stability, leverage, and control over her housing. Daniel has bought liquidity, flexibility, and a diversified ownership stake in thousands of businesses. But there is a twist. Daniel's rent does not stay at $2,100 forever. If it rises by 3% per year, it keeps moving upward. Maya's total ownership costs also rise because taxes, insurance, and maintenance do not freeze in time, but her mortgage's principal and interest payment stays the same. Over enough years, the monthly advantage Daniel started with gets smaller. In this model, it eventually disappears. Now we reach year 20. Maya's home is worth about $722,000, assuming 3% yearly growth. She still owes around $180,000 on the mortgage. Her home equity is about $542,000 before selling costs. That is a large amount of wealth. She also has 10 years left before her mortgage is paid off, after which she will still have taxes, insurance, repairs, and the occasional roof that decides it wants a luxury vacation but no principal and interest payment. Daniel's portfolio, under the same example assumptions, is around $638,000. His original $100,000 compounded for 2 decades, and the monthly amounts he invested early on also had time to grow. In this particular scenario, Daniel finishes with more liquid wealth. But that sentence comes with a very large asterisk. Daniel had to invest consistently for 20 years, including when the market dropped, financial news became terrifying, and buying a house looked emotionally safer. This debate is not really about whether houses are good or stocks are good. It is about trade-offs. Maya used leverage. With $80,000 down, she controlled a $400,000 asset. If the house grew in value, she benefited from growth on the full property, not just her down payment. But leverage works in both directions. If the local market falls, the homeowner feels the full effect too. Daniel avoided debt, stayed diversified, and kept his money liquid. But he accepted market volatility and a rent payment that never ends. He also had to be disciplined. A mortgage is a form of forced saving. You may not feel excited about building equity every month, but the payment keeps showing up with the confidence of someone who has your mailing address. Investing requires a different kind of discipline, choosing to save even when nobody is forcing you. Buying tends to make more sense when you expect to stay in one area for many years. have stable income, can afford the full cost of ownership, and want more control over your home. Renting can be the smarter choice when you may move within a few years, housing prices are high compared with local rents, or you value flexibility. It can also work extremely well if you invest the upfront money and any monthly savings automatically. If you have to negotiate with yourself every month about whether to invest or spend, spending usually brings better snacks. There's also a third answer that nobody likes because it is less dramatic. Do both over time. You can buy a home when it fits your life and still invest for retirement. Or you can rent, build your portfolio, and wait until buying makes sense. Financial progress does not require choosing one team forever. It requires understanding what you are giving up and what you are getting in return. So, should you buy a house or invest $100,000? The answer is not the same for everyone. In this example, Daniel ends up with more liquid money because he invested consistently for 20 years. But Maya gained stability, control, and a home that could become much cheaper to live in once the mortgage is gone. Neither choice is automatically better. The best move is the one that fits your life, your timeline, and the habits you can actually stick to. Now I want to hear from you. If you had $100,000 today, would you use it to buy a home, invest it in the market, or split it between both? Drop your answer in the comments. I read them, and I'm genuinely curious which side wins this debate. And if you want more videos that break down big money decisions without the boring finance jargon, subscribe to Luke Makes Money. We talk investing, personal finance, and the real numbers behind the choices that shape your future. See you in the next one.